Hello and welcome back to VDRL. This is the second round of this league. Last race we had a amazing result with a lot of action. This was last race's race result. If you missed it, on the sprint, Mr. Quota came out on top with Thanos behind and Quillis third. But in the main race, which was the main attraction, Molu came out from nowhere from 14th place to from the sprint to winning the main race, which gained him 25 points in the championship. Talking of championships, we have the standings after the Hungarian GP. You can see on the left we have the team standings with Haas leading the pack, but Ferrari with the same points as the Haas team. On the driver standings, because Molu missed out on a lot of points in the sprint, because he came 14th. Thanos is not very close behind Molu, and 7 Ayrton and Quota 2. Today is going to be round 2 of the calendar, which is Bahrain. Lot of drivers saying that they are not at the best here, but we will see what they can and do today. The the race is 29 laps with a short qualifying again. It's going to be not that much action as last time, but I sure hope and think that the race is going to be a very exciting one, because there's a lot of overtaking opportunities on this track and a lot of straights with DRS where a lot of people can try to dive bomb and go into the inside of the person who are they overtaking. So today there's 12 drivers on the grid who's going to start this race at their qualifying positions. Today's grid consists of D-Mac, Mr. Crota, Meshu, Thanos, Ashel X-Lite, Harry, John R64, whose first race is today's. We have Quillis back on track as always. We have GTA's Smithy. We have Medu. We have Mr. LFC Gamer and EFC Dylan. So these are the drivers for today's race. And as I said that, Crash Dash actually came into the lobby of
Hello.
this race. As we can hear DMAC now in the commentary box. Hello DMAC. He left, unfortunately. Um, so yeah, this is today's racing lineup, which will hopefully bring some action on the track today. And I sure hope it will. I sure think it will. There's gonna be some interviews after the race, and so be sure to wait for that too. The lobby will go racing in about 3 minutes. The next race is going to be Spain on the 26th of January, next Sunday too. The Bahrain GP consists of 1 minute. Consists of 15 turns with 2 DRS opportunities to overtake on those straights. Uh, on the main straight, there's a DRS zone, and on the straight after turn three, there is one where Lewis Hamilton overtook Max Verstappen in 2021 on the outside, which was a very controversial one. A lot of overtaking opportunity in turn after turn 10, which there is actually another DRS straight. Is into turn 11, so good overtaking opportunity there. We will see what they can do today. The circuit is 5.4 kilometers long, and with it was first held in 2004, first Grand Prix, with 2020 coming in with a really strange uh, circuit layout. This track, which we only have 1 minute for the lobby to start. This is one of the hottest race in the calendar in real life, but we will see what the game will give us. With now only about 30 seconds till race starts. Some people are readying up. I will go on to the screen. People will definitely be. And as I got the information that one people will join too, so it's going to be 14 drivers in total. But we are waiting to Kraus. I think that's his name. So I just need you to wait a little bit more. Unfortunately, last race winner couldn't make it today, so he couldn't uh, fight for the championship this round. But next round, if he can make it, he will definitely have a good chance at winning. And the last race, second place, couldn't make it today neither, unfortunately. But a lot of some people are new in this season, as we're only 5 seconds away from starting qualifying. I'm sorry if the quality is not that good. Next live I will try to to fix that. As now we're in the garage with these 14 talented drivers. As John or Meshu coming out of the pit first. And runner 64 coming out first on the track. As Meshu, his teammate is coming out too, and Quota still is going out for his lap 2. Last race, pole position. There's a yellow flag posed by John R64. We will see what this young gentleman will do this race. Previous pole position taker on the Hungarian GP, which she unfortunately couldn't manage to keep at the end of the race. See his teammate trying his best to take pole position too. As Thanos last race, very prominent racer here. Vita Smithy, who's new to this season, but he's not new, I think, to this league. Crash Dash, Harry still in the pits. Jonas 64 is gonna start his lap right away. He's a very fast driver. He won some races last season. As there's a yellow flag in sector 3. Jonas 64. Not pushing that hard yet, but he will definitely push when at the end of the qualifying, as like everybody else. D-Max on his lap now, and Thanos is still on his outlap though. Sorry for that little inconvenience. It's John R64 with a time of 106.6 in sector 2, where there is a yellow flag, but it's burned out very fast. John R64 coming out of the last corner. Let's see what his time gonna be. It's going to be a 128.5. A very good left from him. Let's see what Quota can do. He's still on turn on the tricky section here. Let's see what his sector 2 time will be. It's gonna be a 106.649, which is about the same as John. As there's a caution in sector 1, probably from John. As Axel Light couldn't take the first place from Tronastic, but what can Quota do? No, he cannot. He's on the mediums though, so we will see what he can do on the softs. As Thanos is coming at the last sector 2. It's a 106 flat. Cannot take provisional pole here with only 30 minutes left, but he will take with a 117.885. That's a very good lap from this man here. It's almost 1 second up from John, which is a lot in esports. Quota cannot take second place from John, but he's not far behind 2 tenths, which he can gain by putting on the soft tires, as Dima goes for a 1:29.7, which is only good for 10th place, as Quillis is on his outlap. Last race is a prominent driver too. Joner 64 is on the pits now, and Cote is coming into the pit. Everybody's coming into the pits now, trying on a new set of tires to try to get pole position here at Bahrain. Harry is still trying to get a good lap in, but he's 1 second short in after the second sector. What place can he get? It's only good for 12, which overtook Quillis, over the crash dash, sorry. And Mr. LFC Gamer actually beaten Quota by only 5/7,000ths of a second, which is not a lot at all, but he's on the soft tires. Mr. LFC Gamer couldn't finish either of the races at the Hungarian GP, neither did he couldn't finish the sprint the or the main race. And still holds his provisional pole here. As there's a yellow flag in sector 1. We don't know what or who caused it. As Quota is on his outlap, XL Light is on his outlap, GTA Smithy is on his outlap, as Mr. LFC Gamer spun into the gravel, which causes yellow flag in sector 3, but he can get out of it. That's not gonna be good for his tires, as Thanos is on his outlap too, but the John is still waiting in the pits. Quota's on his outlap. Can DMAG put a better lap in? Because this is not gonna be good against his teammate head-to-head, as Quillis actually goes to second place. The two V-carbs dominating in the first half of qualifying, with Quillis setting a 1:28.322, just 2 tenths above John R64. Can Quota stop the V-carb domination here? Here. He's on his outlap on the soft tires, coming out to the end of sector 2. He will start his lap after this corner here. He's warming up his tires. Can he do what he did in Hungaroring, at the Hungaroring? Where it goes for a very tight line at the finish or the main straight. Goes back, locks up a little bit. There's a yellow flag in sector 2. Taking all of the curb after turn 3, coming up to turn 4 here. VRS zone here. Big lockup from him, but that can't stop this man. As we know from last race, a bit wobbly, and another big lockup at turn 7. I think coming out to the third DRS zone at the Bahrain GP, he needs to get this corner very tight and good, which he does. As DRS open, as he flies down the main and the straight. Little bit of lock up every corner, but it's not that big. As GTS Smithy goes second fastest overall with a 128.1, beating Quillis by 2 tenths. What can Kota do coming out to the last corner? Can this man take provisional pole again as he goes out on track? And that will not be good for him. He needs to go into the box and change his tire again. But there's only 7 minutes left, and that's -1 tire set for him. That didn't help him at all. As Thanos sets another fastest lap here, but only improving by 400ths of a second. Only up he's up by 3 tenths from GTA Smithy, who from nowhere came out on second place. Can anybody beat Thanos here in Bahrain? Jonah 64 is coming up to his lap. He's gonna start his lap after this corner with Meshu behind him, his teammate. Jonah 64 starts his lap here, but he didn't start his lap. He goes back to the pits, but he came back up to fourth place, overtaking Mr. LFC Gamer. As Crash Dash is on his lap. He's 2 tenths up his lap. Is it going to be good for 13th place? It is good for 13th place. He overtakes Harry. Harry in one of the Aston Martins. Can he pull off a miracle here and try to overtake Medu too? Thanos still leading the pack. Squill is on his outlap now and about to start his lap with only 5 minutes remaining from the qualifying session. Can Quillis take provisional pole, or can he beat GTA Smithy and take 1-2 for Visa Kesha RB with 5 minutes left? As he spins around in the first corner, it's not looking very good for him. It's going to be devastating news for the Visa Kesha RBs, because Quillis cannot take second place here if he goes out on another set of fresh soft tires, which maybe he does have another set, but maybe he doesn't. We will see if he can go out on another lap. Mr. LFC Gamer is on his out lap now, and X Light is on his lap. Coming out to the seventh corner, I think here. Squad still in the pits. His best lap was on the mediums, because he, at the last corner of his lap, he spun or went off track because of a big lockup. Let's see what X Light can do. Right now in 7th place, just behind Kota. He's only 2 tenths off from Kota, as there's a caution in sector 3, but that won't stop X Light at all. Coming up to the last corner, he goes out in the pit, back to the pit. As now Quota is on his outlap. Can he deliver the performance he delivered last race? We'll see today. Right behind him is D-Mac probably trying to get some uh, fresh air from and some slipstream from Quota, his teammate. Right now, DMAG needs a lot of help because he's 4 tenths off from Dylan, and he needs to get some good points here for the team because they are, as DMAG goes into the wall, that's a big mistake from him. Cannot make those mistakes as Quota just goes through. That's some pressure on DMAG, and he goes into the wall with only about 3 minutes left in this qualifying session. That's unfortunate news for the Ferraris. It's not been good. It's only 1.5 minutes left. It's not gonna be enough for DMAG. He he takes 11th position or could be doing go back to 13th position. It's not looking good for him. Squatter about to start his lap. Thanos starting his lap right now. Squillis takes second position. He came back from the spun. He went and did it. The two Visa Kershab RBs on 1-2. And Thanos is on provisional pole. But Kota is starting his lap now as DMAG pulls a slipstream for him, which is gonna help him a lot. Little bit of lock up in the first corner, but let's see what he can do on the soft tires. Thanos is trying to improve his lap again, but is it going to be enough of an improvement to stop Quota here? Quota is 9 tenths. Can he, on the fresh soft tires, can he improve 9 tenths from his lap time? Thanos is going for his time, but what is Quota doing here? Spoiling a little bit of slipstream for EFC Dylan, I think, as the qualifying ends with Mr. LFC Gamer going for a very questionable as he impedes Dylan Thanos, but it's not enough. He gains another 1/10 of lap time. Squatter with 5/10 improvement on his lap at the end of sector 2. Can he gain 4/10 here? Taking a lot of curb. Is that gonna be enough? Or is it, oh, it's good for P2 with only 81 thousandths of a second down from Thanos. Thanos is going to take pole position. But can GTA Smithy take that from him? Thanos did an incredible qualifying session here. He didn't. He always got the pole position, a provisional pole position here. But can GTA Smithy take that from him? Or Jonar 64, which he comes across the line, which he comes across the line and goes P3 as GTA Smithy goes onto the last corner. Can he pull off a miracle here? Can he improve by 3/10? He cannot, but takes 3p3 from Jonar 64 with only 2/7 thousandths of a second here. So this is the end of the qualifying with Thanos taking pole, but only by 81 thousandths of a second, with GTA Smithy taking P3 at the end of the qualifying. That's a very good position for his first race of this season. This is the end, and Thanos takes pole position. After him is Quota, then GTA Smithy, John R64, and Quillis with the other cash app. As Mr. LFC Gamer comes to 6th place, and Dylan 7th, Axlight at 8, Kraus at 9, and Meshu at 10. That's the top 10, ladies and gentlemen. as DMAG with the other Scuderia Ferrari comes home to 13th place after a major mistake at the third DRS zone. We will see what this race can give us with this exciting qualifying. We're waiting for players to connect to the EU servers. Is it going to be a race start like the Hungarian GP? Is it going to be clean? Is it going to be a mess of a race start in the first corner? We will see in about 30 or 40 seconds as the lights 3, 4 and 5 lights, and away we go. This gets a good start from Thanos, but Quota goes as Harry goes out on the grass. There's 3 wide, 4 wide into the first corner as Thanos takes 4 wide, 2, as GTA Smithy has a very disastrous race start, going up to the 14th place with Quillis 2. The third and fifth place right now back at the grid with 12 and 14. As John F64 gains 2 places, Meshu gaining 6 places at the start of this race. As GTA Smith and Quillis still fighting each other. As Quota overtakes Thanos, but Thanos will have slipstream here. The two McLaren boys are need to work together to try to stay with these two in the front, the two championship protagonists here, with Quota taking the championship last season, but Thanos trying to stop him in this season as Medu overtakes Kraus, but he's still side by side with him, and the overtake is done now. There's some chaos at the first lap of this race with GTA Smithy and Quillis going out to the back of the grid. They will come into the pits now, lock up in the first corner. The McLaren boys are fighting a little bit at turn 1. They need to just work together, try to do everything they can to get that constructors and some good points here to the leaderboard. We will see what Quillis and GTA Smithy can do. The 3 and 4th place, the 3 and 3rd and 5th place on the qualifying. Possible racers that could be done as 2-stop, but I can only see that everybody's on the mediums right now, so they can probably try to go on the mediums hard, but is the tires going to be enough for these? What am I right here? As Thanos is losing some time to Quota as he just doing purple sector after purple sector in the Bahrain GP. Now Thanos is 9/10 away from Quota, and that time is only increasing lap by lap. As D-Max now in the points after that chaotic race start. Mr. LFC Gamer losing out on some positions in the race start too, probably from the chaos. There was 4 wide in the first 2 corners. Is John 64 overtake Thanos, actually. They're going side by side. Thanos a little bit touching of each other. But John has the softer tires as Meshu tried to overtake Thanos too. From the mistakes he has done. He tries to look on the inside, but it's not going, it's too far away. As now John doesn't have DRS. These four people needs to try to stay behind quota. Because if they don't and they start fighting, quota is going to get a lot of time here. Meshu looking on the inside of Thanos. Here, a little bit of lockup from Thanos. Meshu looking on the inside of Thanos. There's a big contact between those four people. As Meshu goes into the inside of John, they won't be fighting with each other, but they're side by side. As Thanos drops back a pace from Meshu. Thanos Thanos is not having the race of his life here, as Madhu has gotten overtaken by X-Light from a mistake where he went out on to the outside. Unfortunately, as there's a lot of fighting between X-Light and Madhu here. The side by side into the DRS zone. Madhu has the fresher tires as Mr. LFC Gamer actually comes on to the 6th place from the Madhu and XL fight, which he gained the opportunity to overtake X-Light. Willis gaining his places back, trying to go onto the front of the field where he started from. Meshu is just dropping back lap by lap. Thanos overtakes both of the McLarens, but John R64 is not gonna, as Meshu spins out and gives damage to X-Light. He now, from being P2 on the leaderboard, he now goes back to P11 and gives Quillis the chance to go back onto the front of the leaderboard. Now John is dropping by lap from quota, unfortunately for him, but not unfortunately from quota, who is trying to redeem his bad performance from the Hungarian GP, as John is trying to break the slipstream to Thanos. But Madhu is now gaining on Thanos and John from their fighting. Can he get DRS in the main straight? It could help him a lot from the fight with Mr. FC Gamer. But can he get a DRS? Sorry for my, I'm a little bit tired here. As Thanos overtakes John here, but John tries to go onto the outside and he can't. He will try to look for that DRS opportunity to overtake. But can he come back from this overtake? He cannot, as Thanos officially overtook John R64 here and tries to hunt down Mr. Quota. Quota is having some lockups in front of them, as Mr. LFC Gamer catching up to John and Thanos from their fighting again. He will have DRS now as John is trying and trying to to get back his place for top 2. Mr. LFC Gamer is now behind those two. He will have a chance and he will try to look for the opportunity when John or Thanos messes up from their fighting. Big lockup from Thanos there is gonna hurt his performance from his tires. As John now has a great opportunity for the overtake here into the first corner. They're very close to each other, side by side, into the first corner. Let's see who comes out in top. Oh, Thanos trying to go for the switchback, but he can't. He's gonna have to DRS now. Can John break the slipstream here? Here. There's a little bit of contact between those two. Can Thanos get back his place from John in the top 2? Can he get to the leaderboard after a very bad race start in the Bahrain GP? John now saving a little bit of ERS here. But as I said, Mr. LFC Gamer a little bit of slide here, but he's going to try and overtake both of those guys and come out on top as Thanos overtakes John R64 back, and John is not going to fight him to try to catch back up to Quota, who is on the lead comfortably and gaining some time from those two. Mr. LFC Gamer now only 2.8 behind John. He's going to be in this DRS train for a while now. As Madu gets his 10-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane as the first pits come out. Willis goes for not a front wing change. Was that expected? Was that planned? We will never know. So he goes onto the pit. First pit is coming out on the 8th lap. Is it going to be a 2-stop for these guys, or is it going to be a 1-stop? It's very early for a 1-stop, but maybe they will try. Quota maybe have done a mistake, because now his lead has went back down to 1 second, now under 1 second. Can Thanos get the DRS in the main straight? There's still some corners there, but can he maintain this lead to Quota? As he gets the DRS within a 1 lap, Quota has come from 2nd place as he goes into the pits now. Now for his stop from the mediums to hards. Is the hards gonna survive 20 laps? That's the very important question here to us, as Thanos, with who doesn't come out, but he's on the hards, so that's a reason why he's trying to get the safety car. But is it going to come out? Not sure about that. Dylan doesn't pit yet, as John is trying to hunt him down and get the overtake as quickly as possible to maintain the distance to Quota and try to stay with him. But EFC Dylan doesn't give that position up that easy, as John needs to go out on the outside. But But for Mr. LFC Gamer, it was much easier than John. He just goes into the inside of Dylan and he just overtakes him. As now they're Mr. LFC and John is fighting for fifth and sixth place, trying to go back up to DMAG, who let Quota by, right? And they gained almost 2 seconds to LFC and John. Stanos leading the pack, or not the pack, but the whole race, with 11 seconds. Now that Harry goes into the pit. Dima gets a 10-second penalty from his mistake on the qualifying. He will get to another mistake on the race. That's not going to be exciting news for the Ferraris. He can miss out on a lot of points here. Here, as John overtakes Dylan, but they won't fight because they will try to catch back up the quota, which is the optimal strategy here. Quota is now 20 seconds and it's off from Thanos. Almost now 21. As John is 64 and LFC is not really catching back up to quota. As Dylan didn't come out in the pits yet. That we can see that Thanos needs to go into the pits and Dylan needs to go into the pits right now. How Thanos is only on 10 laps old hard tires and Quota still cannot gain a lot on him. Can he overtake him when he comes out onto the pit, into the pit? Medu is on soft tires. It's an interesting choice of tires at the 9 lap of the race, where when he came out onto the pits. An interesting choice, as as does Harry, goes on to the soft tires as well. Quota gaining about 2 tenths within a sector to Thanos. ZFC Dylan and XL Light is fighting each other. But Mr. LFC Gamer and John still cannot keep up with Quota here. As now XL Light is only 1 second away from John, which I cannot see happening. I think the game is a little bit bugged out, but John and Mr. LFC is not looking good because they cannot. As Quillis now overtook Dylan and trying to gain back his positions after the chaotic race start. GT Schmitty comes out on 9th place after dropping down back to almost last into the grid. He overtook Kraus too. Now we'll try to get back up to beat Willis here. He's only 1.6 seconds away from EFC Dylan, which he can get back on because he's a very fast driver. But can he catch back up to Quillis, who is now almost 1.9 seconds, now 2 seconds off of Dylan? who's on 11 laps mediums. He still needs to go out on the pit. So does Thanos, because Quota is gaining on him by about 5 tenths a lap, as there's a yellow sector in sector 3. No one is dropping down though. When will Thanos go out on the pits? He will have the softer pressure tires when he comes out, but is that going to be enough to hunt Quota down and try to overtake him back? As GT Smithy overtakes Dylan, who comes out into the pits now for his tire change. As John overtakes, as John overtook uh, Mr. LFC Gamer at the main straight, but LFC overtook him back at the second DRS straight. They won't be fighting, but they will need to fight because they cannot catch back up to Quota, and it is a fight for third place here. This is a penalty here. John or John, neither does John or LFC need a penalty here. They cannot risk some 3 or 5 second penalties because it's going to mean do or die here for third place, as LFC is still leading John, but can John overtake him in the main straight? As now DRS open for John. He's going to try to overtake. He goes onto the inside of Mr. LFC, as LFC doesn't try to fight him back because he knows that in the next straight he's going to get the arrest and try to overtake John S64 back, which he cannot, as John keeps his third place after the main straight. Now Quota is gaining on Thanos about a second a lap, if not more. He went from 17 to now 16 seconds in just one lap. Those hard tires on Thanos is wearing out a lot right now, but John is catching a little bit back up to Quota. Is it enough? Don't think so. He's 3 seconds off of Quota here, so but he still has 15 laps of racing action here, where Quota can make mistakes and John can turn up. Quota taking an interesting line here on the main straight for some reason. Maybe it's faster for him. He lost about 2 tenths here from the 6 laps old mediums is in the turning point where it is wearing out a lot more, and also the grip is getting increasingly less here, as Mr. LFC still cannot get back the third position from John. And when Thanos goes out in the pits, that's the question, because Quota is just gaining on him lap by lap, and not by a little, but by a large margin. Every lap. Is he going to go out now? Is he going to go out in the next lap or in the next 5 laps? This lap is not the choice for him. Mr. LFC dropping down from John. Now the mediums are not that good of a choice for him, as DMAG has a problem in at the eighth corner or ninth corner, which causes yellow sector here, as Kraus overtakes Quillis, who's in the pits again for another fresh tire set of the hards, as Meshu overtakes him, who unfortunately got taken out by, I think it was LFC Gamer or X-Lite, I'm not sure about neither of those statements, but he's trying to get back up, and he's trying to hunt down Harry on the 6th lap old softs here. Dima gets his 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings of track limit. We've seen that a lot on the Hungarian GP, as LFC Gamer is it looks like he's not trying anymore, but he is. Those mediums are just not capable of these many laps here at the very high temperatures. Those mediums are not gonna last as much as the hards on neither Quota or John. There's a caution in yellow in the second sector, but there isn't any more, as I think as Meshu overtakes, and GTA Smithy actually getting back up to 6th place after a disastrous race start where he went back down to 14th place. He comes back at the 17th lap of the race for 7th place now, because Kraus, it's an incredible race to watch here. Kraus overtakes back with GTA Smithy here, as D-Mac gets in the top 10 because Harry goes into the pits and Crash Dash going into top 11 here. The GTA Smith is still trying his best to get that redemption from his race start, where he got a very bad but unfortunate race start here, as the other Mercedes of X Light is still has a penalty, as Crash Test gets a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings, but it doesn't matter for him because Medu is 9 seconds off of him. It's not gonna matter much here, as GTA Smithy still overtook Kraus here. There's a caution in sector 1 with EFC Dylan, I think, in the gravel there. Thanos lapping him in first place. Now Quota is 15 seconds still in, but Quillis with a 131.2 setting a fastest lap as he tried to climb back up and trying to catch Meshu here in the other McLaren, where John is now third in the leaderboard. Thanos is just lapping. Now Quota is not gaining that much on one lap, but Thanos still needs to go out in the pits. Just keep in mind that. And also, GTA Smithy probably has to go out on the pits again here, as they have a fight between Krios and him. As Dylan retires from the session into the pits, there's not going to be a safety car or anything. That's a end race for Dylan, unfortunately, as LFC goes out in the pits for us. fresh set of, that's the hard tires, in my opinion. Yes, that's the hard tires. Whether it was a fresh set of hard tires there. There's a caution in sector 1. It's for some reason the retired car is still going, and he retired at the first sector. Weird game. A GTS Mitty now gained some time to Kraus, where Kraus cannot try to overtake him back. Thanos still not going out for the pit, as we can see now Quota in the back of the picture here. Or is that Quota? I'm not really sure about that. Uh, no, it was DMAG. As now Thanos goes into the pits, now we can see Quota gaining on him seconds by seconds. And is he going to overtake him into the pits? Yes, he will. It's a long fight for Thanos here, but he goes into the soft tires. He will need to overtake John and Quota here. Can he do it? I'm sure he can. He's only 4 seconds off, but he still has 10 laps of racing here. Can he get John and Quota on the fresh soft tires? Keep in mind there are softs, not mediums. Is 10 laps going to be too much for the softs? Is it going to be enough, or is it going to be perfect for Thanos as Harry gets his 3-second time penalty? But we will follow Thanos' journey here to P1, trying to gain his places back from second place in the sprints to third place in the main race. Can Thanos get his breakthrough at the second race of this season? And can he get his pole position to race win? He gained almost a second to John within 1 lap on the fresh and not warmed up softs here. I'm sure he will be able to gain to Quota and John. He will overtake John within 5 laps, in my opinion, or within 4 laps. As now he gains 2 as Dylan has left the session, the first DNF here, as Thanos is just doing incredible work here and gaining about a tenth corner, which is a very large amount of gaining here at Bahrain, which is a very tricky track, like where there's a lot of mistakes can be made, as Mr. LFC goes out on the pits and goes back to 7th place. Can John try to defend against Thanos, or is he going to just let him by to and not try to fight him much and get the 3rd place which he deserves in this race? Thanos is now in DRS as John pulls aside, trying not to give him slipstream, but he's going to be in the DRS zone now, and in this raid is going to try to overtake John as they go side by side. DRS open for Thanos. 1/10 now overtook John. Is John going to try with the pretentious try bomb inside? He's going to force Thanos out, but Thanos they gets back to onto the top 2. Now only 3.4 as John goes into the inside. There's a big contact between those two. A lot of as Thanos spins a lot of time lost to quota, now 4.5 seconds away from quota, and 1.1 from John. It was a questionable overtake of John. Is there damage for Thanos? We don't know. He will just try to overtake John here. He's probably a lot angrier than before those moves from John, but it's just hard racing here. Is John going to get the penalty after the race? It's probably under investigation right now, or after the race is going to be under investigation, because that was not a legal move here. That was a lot of contact between those two. They can both get a penalty right here. Squad still leads the the race with 4.3 seconds. Now Thanos trying to overtake John, but John is going to force him. Big lockup from Thanos, but it's going to be good for Thanos as he gets the overtake done. But is John going to try to overtake back? He is not, as Thanos completes his overtake on John and try to catch Porter. Is there damage on his side? But there isn't any damage on his side point. So that was a miracle that didn't give him enough damage to stop Barry gaining now almost a second in just two corners, two quota. He still has about 7 laps or 6.5 laps of racing here. Can he catch up to quota and have a good fight between those two? We will see in my opinion, about 3 laps time. Now he's 2.968 seconds from quota. He gained approximately 2 seconds in just those half a lap. That's a lot in a half a lap of time. He's on the fresh softs, which are 4 laps old. Now it's going to get a little bit of slippery for him. It's going to get a lot of tire degradation here, but is it going to stop him from trying to catch back up to quota? I don't think so. Now he's almost gaining a tenth, a corner. D-Mag is going to get lapped by his teammate, but can Thanos overtake D-Mag before quota? Before quota does. He's not going to have DRS right here, but he's going to try and just gain as much time as possible here to quota. Now he's inside the 1 second gap where he needs to be for the DRS on the main straight. 1 lap, 1 corner off before the last one where he can get a DRS from. But quota is going to get DRS from DMAC too, because that's a blue flag for DMAC and he's 1 second in front of quota, where quota has DRS opportunities. After he overtook DMAC, he's not going to get that privilege here, as now Thanos is going to get the other DRS here. Good. That was a good trying to switch back from Thanos as they get so close to each other. Quota has a little bit of slipped there. They're almost millimeters between each other. As Thanos trying to go for inside and this touch. They touched bet between the two championship contenders. There's touch between those two. And there's a other one. They're side by side in the third DRS zone as Thanos going for the outside, but Quota closes the gap. Mr. LFC has a 3 second time penalty. He goes into the inside, side by side, going onto these corners. Is he going to try to overtake in the inside? No, he won't. He will try and wait for the main overtaking opportunity here, the DRS zone. See, they come close between those two. It's only 1/10 of a second there. As now Thanos has his DRS open, side by side they go. Is it going to be an easy overtake? Is Quota going to try to go onto the inside? No, he won't try. He will try to get a good. He will try to get a good pace here and try to catch back up to Thanos. He's only 5/10 away, but Thanos' tires is going to get a lot slippery right now. His tires are 6 laps old and they are on softs. There's still 4 laps of racing laps remaining, but Thanos gets a purple sector 1 as now Quota is a second away from him. Is he going to get DRS? He will still get DRS here, but at the other DRS on the main straight, he will not get DRS as Thanos can pull away from him very easily on those soft tires. But at the end of the race, those soft tires are going to get a little bit more tire wear than usual, as Crashdash gets a 10 second time penalty for exceeding tank limit. But that's not not that interesting as this fight here, as now Quota is 2 seconds behind Thanos. Neither does DMAG or Quota will have DRS here, as Thanos is just leading the pack. Heck, he gained 2 seconds in about a lap here after overtaking Quota on the main straight here. Now he's just gaining from Quota. He's now 2.6 away, 2.7, 2.8 from Quota. He's now 3 seconds away from him. Quota won't be catching up to him anytime soon. He only have a chance of winning here if Thanos makes a mistake here, which it doesn't look like he is going to. He's been a very consistent racer in at the Hungarian and in Bahrain in this race. He raced flawlessly for the first. He raced flawlessly the entire race, and he overtook Quota uh, very easily in these corners and in these DRS zones. Now he's leading by 4.2 seconds here. That's a dominant race pace from Thanos here. Now almost 4.5 seconds up from Quota as John is trying to get back up, but he couldn't. There's only 2 more laps. He's 2 seconds behind Quota here. As the two Ferraris staying within there. As Axel Light, sorry, Quillis comes back to 6th place, overtaking Mr. LFC, and behind John. John got overtaken by GTA Smithy, who's on the fresher medium tires, but he did get left, GTA Smithy. And now Quota actually dropping by a lot from John, as this is a real battle here between GTA Smithy and Dean Mag, but It's not for points, it's just purely for entertainment. As John is gaining up to quota by a lot actually, by those slipstreams and DRS getting from GTA Smithy and DMAG, he's going to to gain, try to get the second place from quota here, as there's a 10-second penalty for DMAG for ignoring blue flags because he's trying to help uh, quota here. As quota goes, DMAG goes into the outside, and it's a lot of confusion for me right here as John trying to overtake quota goes for the switchback, and that's a beautiful switchback right there. But can GTA Smithy get in the way of that? No, he cannot. John at the last lap overtaking quota. Can quota have a answer? Yes, he can. He goes for the inside. There's a contact between those two. Can quota get back on the DRS straight in this straight? A lot of exciting in fighting for this last lap here at the Bahrain GP. Can John come out on top? Quota goes onto the inside, side by side, and Quota almost spans out at the penultimate corners here, as John is now leading GTA, Smithy, and the other guys in front of him. Can John take second place? Yes, he can. As John goes to second place at the end of the lap as GTA Smithy and Dima gets a 10-second penalty, but it's not going to be. Here is the race winner for this race, the dominant victory of 10 seconds here at the Bahrain GP. It was a very dominant victory from Thanos, and it was a very, very, very questionable racing from John, but it was a very good racing from John because he came out in second place, just just in front of Quota in the last lap. He overtook Quota and he gained some time to him. As SLX Slide comes into fourth place and Quillis from the disastrous restart, he comes to fifth place. Mr. LFC goes to sixth, and unfortunately, from third place, GTA Smithy only could go to 12th, and DMAG goes to 13th. Crash Dash getting some points there, but it's not going to. It's only 1 point, which is good for those guys here right now. On the to the interviews in just a second. Thanos takes his victory at the Byron GP. He gets that iconic trophy, Thanos. He will be delighted after the devastating race in the Hungarian sprint and the main race. After taking pole in the sprint, he can only come to second place, but he will convert his pole position to race victory here in Bahrain. Here is the championship. Here is the uh, final result. Thanos going out into the top. John and Quota in the top three, as Quillis comes out on fifth place. He didn't lose any places after that that insane race start. Going out on today. The now um, interviews here with Thanos And
Hey, hello.
hello, Thanos. So,
I'm here.
um, this was a very dominant victory from you. What's your reaction to this race? What was your thinking about the strategy? It was a very strange strategy in the least. What was your thinking in the middle of the race?
Yeah, from the moment that Quota boxed and had fresh hards compared to my old, I saw that the pace advantage was not that big, and he needed almost like 18 seconds basically to close up. But I had good pace even on used tires, so I stayed close, not stayed close, but did not let him get too close, and then I boxed for softs, some interesting and questionable fighting with John. Whether that's all illegal or not, it doesn't matter right now because it was a great drive on the softs. The tires were amazing towards the end, and I had the grip advantage that I needed to get back in the lead and win.
Yeah, it was a very nice pace from on the hearts from you and a very ultimate drive. The least I can say for that is it's a very, very perfect drive on the softs, as it was a hard racing from John there and for you too, but it was a deserved victory for you here. Very great race and congratulations for the race victory.
Thank you.
Going on to the second place now. John, what is your reaction to this podium on the first race of your if of the season? I know that you won some races in the last season. I sure hope I can see that right in this season. What is your reaction to the second place?
Well, for starters, I didn't expect to be anywhere near where we were. I think the setup was okay. I think I made the setup predominantly for tire wear and qualified fourth. Was not expecting to be that high. And then in the race, we benefited off Kota pushing his tires too hard, and were able to get him on the last lap. And then we had some questionable battling with the V carb, which I don't agree with. But I think it was good race pace. Didn't make mistakes. Stayed in the track limits. Decent day.
Yeah, it was an interesting race for you this weekend because there was a lot of battling between you and Thanos there, and at the last lap of the race, you overtook Quota for second place. It was very nice to watch the race between you two. You have very very good pace at the end there. Probably Quota getting a little bit uh, backed up by the back markers, but that doesn't matter right now. You got the speed 2 in the end, so
Yeah,
just congratulations for that.
thank you.
Going on to the third place now. Quota, what is your reaction to the back markers there? Did they ruin your race a little bit of and getting a little bit backed up by them and losing P2 at the end there? What is your reaction?
Yeah, it wasn't really down to the back markers. I don't know what happened. Something wrong with my setup probably. My tires on the last lap were at 97% tire wear, so I just couldn't do anything. John's was at like 50%. So when he got in my DRS, it was a straight clear P2 for him. I tried to do something, and in the end, a little down the inside, but couldn't couldn't do that due to my tires.
Yeah, I thought that your tire wear was probably very high. It was about 14 laps on both of your tires, but you were much slower because of the tires at the end of the race from Tron. I think that you did a very good job there. Uh, very clean fighting between you and John. A little bit of contact, but that doesn't matter in these kind of situations. Um, very good strategy, but it just came out to the last moment there at the end to get P3. It is still a lot of good points there, but I'm sure that's not what you wanted, that P3. So
Yeah.
congratulations, you two.
Thank you. Thank you.
And as I can see, no one else is at the comment box. So this is the end of the interviews. Congratulations to every diver on the grid. Very nice racing today in the midfield, in the top of the field. Very good race here. So thank you for watching, for all the other people watching the stream, and have a rest of your day. Nice rest of your day. This was VDRL round 2 Bahrain GP.